Oh, hello. This is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe. When I first started my channel, the main goal is to promote home cooking. I believe that home cooking plays a significant role in promote wellness, not just physical wellness, but also psychological, social, and environmental wellness. The main purpose of this channel is to make home cooking sustainable. However, in order to make it sustainable, I realized that I must make it efficient and practical. I know I spend way too much time probably in each video talking about my fast cooking system. For those of you who have heard it before, I apologize. However, I know for people who are new to my video, this will be important for them to know the direction that I want to take them. The term FAST for my fast cooking system is an acronym for the following 4 attributes. That is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. In my past videos, I have spent quite a bit of time, probably way too much, talking about the wok as an efficient cooking system. Many of people, when they see that I'm going to show them how to use the wok as a cooking system, they immediately come to the conclusion I must be show them to do Chinese cooking. Of course, I will show you how to do some Chinese cooking in the wok, but I will also demonstrate to use the wok for other type of cuisine traditions. And now for most of you who have recently purchased a new wok, you probably want to do something that you are familiar with in the wok and also see the advantage of the wok. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you to cook I would call it a traditional American dish. That is home fried potatoes with onion. Now this dish is my son's absolute favorite, and he often requests me to cook this dish for him. Now, I will call this dish is a template, and I will refer it to as a shallow fry template. I really like shallow fry for a number of reasons. First of all is that you do not have to use a lot of oil in shallow frying. In shallow frying, not only the food use less oil, but it also is less oily. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you how I use a template. And on top of that, I'm going to show you my flavor chasing approach, how I try to continue to improve the flavor of the dish. To me, cooking is most fun is that every time when I walk into the kitchen, I will try to improve the taste of the food. With template-based cooking, you always have that opportunity because you do not follow a strict recipe. Instead, you follow some basic guideline, and there's a lot of flexibility for you to make changes. So in this case, for the home fried potato, the first decision that I need to make is that how big should I cut the potatoes? In the past, I used to cut the potatoes into thin slices, but I feel that I would like them better if the potatoes has a little bit more bite to it. Therefore, for this dish, I make the change. I cut the potato into larger chunks, but I do not cut them too large so that it would take too much time for them to fry. For this video demonstration, I'm going to use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to add about 1 cup of canola oil, just enough to cover the bottom of the wok and a little bit more. Previously, I have peeled and cut up about 5 cups of large potatoes. I decided that I'm going to cook it into batches because there were a lot of potatoes. In this case, the oil temperature is not that critical because I have a lot of potatoes in the wok. I just want it to be as hot as possible because I'm going to continue to stir the potatoes. I find that initially I use a long handle tong, and that works out very well. It not only keeps your hands away from the heat, but it also allows you to turn the potato easily. The first batch, which I do not put in a whole lot of potatoes, and it cooked quite fast. In about 11 minutes, the potato is reached the type of consistency that I am looking for. You can see the outside of the potato has turned nicely golden brown, but the inside is still very soft and moist. And it is the contrast in texture between the outside of the potato as well as the inside is what I am looking for. And I found that the best way to remove the oil from the potatoes is to drain them through a spider strainer. And to absorb any remaining oil that might be still on the potatoes, I put them on a plate that has been lined with paper towel. A potato has the capacity to suck up oil, so as you can see that it is not too oily on the surface at all. The next batch that I cook is much larger because I put all the potatoes that I have left into the wok. In this case, you notice that the oil hardly able to cover all the potatoes. But there's one nice thing about the wok is that you can stir them easily. The bowl shape of the wok allows you to stir it, of course, gently without spilling any oil onto the outside of the wok. So in this case, I use the wok spatula just like I would do in stir fry and move the potato around, and they actually cook very quickly. By using this method, even though the oil do not cover all the potatoes, but the potato were able to cook very evenly. So I moved the potato from the wok and set them aside, and the next thing I'm going to do is to cook the onion. Last time I cooked this dish, I actually cut the onion into thin slices. My son was complain about just too much onion. At the same time, he thought that the onion was too big. He told me that he still loved the onion flavor, and he asked me would it be possible for me to integrate the onion better with the potatoes. So I've been thinking about how could I do that, and my conclusion is that if I dice the onions, that might provide a much better mixing of the onion with the potatoes. So I dice one onion, and the next step for me to do is to cook the onion, and then I will mix it with the potatoes. The reason I choose to cook the onion separately because based on my past experience, the onion cook much better if I cook them independently because I can better control their texture. So I remove most of the oil in the wok and left just a little bit behind so that I can use it to cook the onion. Since the onion has already been diced, it took only about a few minutes to cook them. I then put the potato back into the wok and I mix it with the onion. I add some seasoning and I use my basic seasoning mix. The basic seasoning mix contains very little amount of salt, but it has other seasoning ingredients that will enhance the natural flavor of the onion and the potatoes. After a few quick stir, it turns out very well. For that evening, my son was not able to join us for dinner, so I set them aside for him later on. Looks like my method has worked. As you can see, he wrote back to me, said the smaller onion tastes much better than the larger ones. And he is ready for some more. Now this dish is very simple and it's also very familiar to most people. So if you have just got a new wok and you want to try out your wok to cook something that you are familiar with, and this probably will be a dish for you to try. In this case, all you need to do is to have some potato and have some onion, and you can season it any way that you would like. I also want to remind you that this is a template, so you can make adjustment accordingly. You can use different kind of potatoes, and you can cut them into different sizes. And in this demonstration, I use red onion, and of course, you can use any onion that you like, such as yellow onion or white onion. This is a good example of what I would call my template-based cooking. Basically, you use this as a template and you make adjustment within the template accordingly. This is also an example of flavor chasing because by adjusting and using different kind of potatoes and different type of onion, you can create a different flavor property for the dish. Of course, lastly, you can season the dish in whatever way that you would like to. My son actually like it from time to time. He will put sriracha sauce on the potatoes. As my friend once told me that shallow frying is much better than deep frying, it's because you don't have to use as much oil. And he said he always worry about after he did deep frying what he is going to do with the oil. However, now I do shallow frying frequently, and quite often I will use the oil after do the frying and use it for other purposes. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below. This will help me to expand my audience base. I post my video regularly, usually one every day. And if you'd like to receive notification of my future video postings, please subscribe. See you next time.